This is the most expensive series in the history of Major League Baseball, I might add. The New York Mets obviously have a $375 million payroll. The Los Angeles Dodgers, $413 million plus. The Dodgers insult us by just letting Ohtani pitch and not hit.
日本時間4月14日から16日にかけてドジャース対メッツの3連戦がドジャースタジアムで行われました。このシリーズは山本大谷両投手の好投もあり、ドジャースの3連勝で終わりました。現地メッツファン実況者の反応を日本語字幕でご覧ください。
They will in fact be facing Shohei Ohtani. So lucky for the Mets, actually. Not only do they get to go out to Los Angeles off of no sleep, no day off, and a sparkling 5-game losing streak, they also have to face both Yamamoto and Ohtani. Special.
Additionally, the Dodgers are 11-4.
Yeah, of course they are. Anyways, on the Dodgers front, the Dodgers are 11-4. They're cooking as they always are. I did see that Edwin Diaz blew his first save the other night, but they still managed to win the game. I think it was a Freeman walk-off. It was a somebody walk-off.
That's so annoying.
They got the first Edwin Diaz experience of a blown save, and they still won.
That's so annoying.
But maybe that's like, you know, why Edwin went there, for instance.
No, right. I actually was thinking that. That actually has to feel like a relief to him, you know what I mean? To know that there's still a chance there. Again, not to say that the Mets couldn't do that, but last year, if the Mets were losing in the 8th inning, it means they lost the game. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that when you're thinking about the Dodgers here, this is a series that frankly just matters from a pride perspective, right? Like, let's just actually keep that in mind. This is an opportunity to go out in the very early beginnings of this 2026 season and make a statement. Listen, you just lost 5 straight. That could easily turn into 8 straight. That could easily turn into you went 1-7 in your last 8. But you could also go out there and you could make a statement. I get it. There's not a lot in their favor right now. You know, you think about the traveling, you think about the fact that it's been freezing cold here, which I feel like has honestly not helped anybody.
No.
Think about the fact that they haven't had a day off. Like, there are a lot of different excuses you can make for why the Mets wouldn't play well in this series, but it doesn't mean that they shouldn't. And you know what? I think sometimes when you're slumping and it's actually against weaker competition, sometimes you do need a situation like this where you go up against a strong team to actually see where exactly you stand and possibly play up to your competition. Or not, we'll see.
Well, you're right to say, I think we talk about, like, you can look at this as a disaster for the Mets, or you can look at it as an opportunity, right? All of a sudden, the feeling this week, if they, against all odds with who's pitching, go in there and take 2 out of 3 in Los Angeles, then you're back up. You go to Chicago, you play the Cubs, you continue on. So, I mean, I would like to see the Mets just because of what's going on. Again, a challenge, but you take 2 out of 3 here, you're back in business. And you even have a few good showings against, listen, you beat Yamamoto with McLean pitching on Tuesday night. That's going to be a good feeling. So we're grasping at straws. We're hoping the bleeding stops. Dodgers fans, please go easy on us. I'm sure if you're a Dodgers fan or a Mets fan, you saw SportsCenter put out this week that this is the most expensive series in the history of Major League Baseball, I might add. The New York Mets obviously have a $375 million payroll. The Los Angeles Dodgers, $413 million plus. Most expensive series in baseball history, and the Mets are just going to go out there and prove that they don't belong with the big boys. They were shut out for the 2nd straight night. This was their 6th loss in a row, which was special and fun.
Yep.
In those 6 losses, they have combined, throughout 6 games, they scored 9 runs. For instance, the Minnesota Twins scored 43 runs in that same 9-game stretch. The Minnesota Twins.
That's insane. 43 runs, not in a 6-game stretch.
Minnesota!
Is bizarre. I know. All right. What do you have against Minnesota, first of all? Remember when you did that to Toronto?
Yeah, I did.
No, honestly, I agree with you. Listen, I'm looking even just at the last 4 games, and 3 of them, the Mets have 0 runs. Like, at some point, you need to do your job. You're a baseball player. Hit the damn ball. Nobody is hitting. Nobody's doing anything.
There's no spark.
So aggravating. It's so frustrating.
They're dead.
Do something. And you know what? All of a sudden, no, literally, I'm going to just take the stick out and start poking people. Do something. And I understand it's the Dodgers. I understand they have great pitching. They have great defense. This is a tough team to really probably score any runs against, but it's also like baseball. Like, it's a 9-inning game.
If the Mets were going to take a game of this series, last night certainly felt like the good one to take, considering you had their, fourth, fifth starter, Justin Robleski out there. He's got like a 4 ERA. That was the guy that you could hit against because, for instance, tonight, if you're the Mets and you're trying to get yourself out of a 6-game slump, well, you have Yoshinobu Yamamoto taking the mound against you. Now, the positive thing is Nolan McLean's pitching for you, so hopefully that goes well. And then tomorrow you have Shohei Ohtani. So if you're the Mets and you're staring down not having an 8-game losing streak, I would say your odds there aren't so high. Last night was the night to hit, and they still could not.
They could not again.
Yesterday, when the Mets arrived at Dodger Stadium, there was a video playing. The Dodgers were playing a hype video to showcase that they snatched good friend Edwin Diaz from the Mets. Now, not only, all right, play whatever video you want, do whatever you want in your home ballpark. Dave Roberts, manager of the Dodgers, in the video says, and I quote, "There's a reason Edwin Diaz wanted to come here. He's chasing a ring." It gets to a point. It gets to a point. You've already won. It's like that meme that's like, stop it, he's dead. He's already dead. We're already dead, all right? You already took Edwin Diaz. You beat us in 2024. You won the World Series last year. This year you're 12-4 and we're 7 and whatever the hell, 10. We get it, okay? Like, we get it on Edwin Diaz. You didn't have to play the video. Was the video necessary? Come on. Even if you're a Dodgers fan, was the video necessary? I'm losing it a little.
The video was a lot. I can't lie, the video. And honestly, I'm not one to normally, but come on.
Video was a little bit.
Video was a little bit. But honestly, as far as what Robert said, I was going to say, come on.
No, he's right.
You're a New Yorker. Don't come on here and tell me that wasn't the truth.
No, it was the truth.
I mean,
it doesn't mean I'm not upset about it.
Remember when we were grasping for straws? It was a money thing. It wasn't, no, not weather and not.
Although Diaz did have some quote yesterday where he said it was the Dodgers told him they could turn him into like a Hall of Fame player. Like he would go to Cooperstown if he went to the Dodgers. I mean, him and his like 6 ERA he has right now, that might beg to differ, but I don't, that's his business. The Mets get sweeped out of LA, blown out of the water. I mean, we kind of said it heading into this series. I would have been happy to take one game of this series with the way the Mets are playing. Unfortunately, that was not even possible. They lost last night in a game that was 8-2 loss to the Dodgers, and it just shouldn't have been like that. We're going to get into it right now, but how the score ended up 8-2 in that game, I'm still trying to wrap my head around. If we want to talk about one moment of yesterday's game that kind of took what was a somewhat close game into a non-competitive game, here we go again. Francisco Lindor not charging a ground ball in, it was Teoscar Hernandez who hit the ground ball to him. Lindor doesn't charge it. He's safe at first base. That opens the floodgates. It becomes a blowout. Devin Williams, the wheels fall off the bus. Williams has been good so far. Last night wasn't his night. Shocker, he's pitching against the Dodgers. Francisco Lindor, we covered this on our last episode. It is yet another example of what on earth is going on with this guy. Francisco Lindor has been manning shortstop out there for years. He knows a little dribbler like that, a ball that bounces 3 times, you got to charge it. You got to get him out. Now, to Teoscar Hernandez's credit, he's busting it down the line like it's Game 7 of the World Series. He's out there sprinting, and it paid off because he was safe. And then obviously that paved the way for the Dodgers to win the game handily. But first of all, on Lindor's end, what's happening? And on the Dodgers end, that kind of just speaks to everything that's wrong here, right? Like, it sounds so silly, but the example of Teoscar Hernandez, of all guys, busting it down the line, getting an infield single out of that, and then they obviously go on to rally beyond that. That's the type of spark that this Mets team is missing. That's the type of momentum, heart, hustle, whatever you want to call it. No one on the Mets has shown us this year, right? Like, it's almost remarkable.
I mean, 100%. You start to wonder, is this rock bottom? I mean, the one thing that you can say, I guess, that's there are actually 2 bright lights that I've really tried to use to inspire me in the past 24 hours. The first is that the series with the Dodgers is over, and let's at least be open and honest in admitting that this is the best team in baseball, and the 3-game sweep was once again proof of that. Again, Shohei Ohtani, we all know what kind of pitcher he is. The man that you are, Shohei. Congratulations. You are impossible.
My dad, longtime noted Mets fan, hit his breaking point last night. I was waiting for that to happen because it seemed like he honestly exercised some patience throughout this losing streak. We hadn't heard from him last night, 11 p.m. And I quote, "Nobody fucks a season faster than the Mets. Highest payroll in baseball. And by April 15th, we are already starting Melendez and Pham looking for a spark." pathetic excuse for a team. And the Dodgers insult us by just letting Ohtani pitch and not hit. He's the DH every time he pitches, but not against us. Not needed, period. And then my mom followed it up by saying Carlos Mendoza should start polishing up his resume, which, you know what? Maybe he should. Carlos Mendoza, we might want to fire up that resume file.